Hi, this is Taurus with HVAC Tutor. I'm here with
Matthew.
Matthew, and Matthew just attended one of my open house classes for HVAC, and his story was just so compelling. I just had to talk with him a little bit and see if he would be willing to share some of his story with everybody, and help you understand exactly why I'm doing everything I'm doing with HVAC Tutor. Okay, so Matthew,
Yes.
you've been working in HVAC for how long?
5 years now.
And where did you attend school?
I went to TCI.
TCI?
Yeah.
So TCI is the Technical Career Institute, right?
Correct.
Okay, and what year did you go?
I went from 2009 to 2012.
2009 to 2012, so 3 years.
It was like September 2000.
Okay, so a little more than 2 years.
Like April 2012.
Okay, so when you left TCI, you got a degree?
Yeah.
You got a degree in HVAC?
Yes.
Okay, and how helpful was that degree in getting you work?
Not that well. I mean, all the thing for the understanding how the system works and stuff like that was really good, but the hands-on and all that stuff, it didn't really help out as far as working at companies and stuff like that, because you didn't really get the hands-on
Okay.
that you need. And as far as now, I'm at 5 years, and I feel like I'm not at the level that I need to be at, and or the pay. So it's been kind of rough. Been going through a lot of jobs, jumping around. They don't need me. Get laid off because they're slow. Just not valuable to them.
And when you went to TCI, how much did it cost you?
I ended up with $20,000 that I owe them. And after getting out of school, I graduated, worked with the company for a little bit, but they only want to start pay between $12 to $15 an hour. And a lot of times they tell me I don't know enough. And I'm like, well, how am I going to know if you don't teach me? So that ended that, and I don't know how I would survive on $15 an hour, pay rent, and all this other stuff. Student loans, they want to charge me $400 a month, plus rent, food, and then all the other expenses that you have to do. Because you have to buy tools as well, and that costs a lot of money. I spent at least 10 grand in tools over this time, and that messed up my credit. So now, after all this going to school, trying to make my life better and get a good career, I'm also paying all this stuff that I had an 800 credit score. Now it was at 5, but it's coming up slowly. I had to cancel a lot of credit cards, which that totally ruined my credit. So I'm paying that back. Plus I gotta pay $20,000, went to $30,000 for the student loan for TCI. So that's messing me up a little bit too, because putting in deferment and forbearance, all that stuff. So everything that I paid when I actually did have a job and employment, when the company went screw me over, I paid some, and then it went back on plus interest.
Now, when you went to TCI or when you graduated, what official licenses and certifications did you get?
I got the EPA 608. After that, a few years later, I ended up getting the fire guard and the torch license, because in New York City you kind of need that, and it kind of looks better with the company, the OSHA 10. But that's about it. And only one company in my 5 years actually asked me for my diploma.
So with the EPA license, at what point going to TCI did you get your EPA license?
I was more towards the end, like about to graduate is when I took it.
So after almost 2 years.
Yeah, there was other ones too called the ICE test.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pass that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I failed it by like 10 points. That one's pretty hard. But nobody had really asked for that either. So.
Did they prepare you for the New York City refrigeration license exam?
No, they didn't really have a course offered for that. They were saying it's an engineer type school and preparing you to go for more school. And a lot of the stuff that they taught, I don't even use.
Such as?
Infiltration, exfiltration of walls, formulas, and stuff like that. The stuff that I really could have used was more electrical and troubleshooting and different equipment to work on, because there's a bunch of different types of equipment out there. And every different company, they use their own different types of controls. So you'd have to, be versatile in a company. That's the stuff you got to learn. And I've kind of been stuck because I don't know enough, and a lot of people don't want to teach you. So they make you do maintenance or be a gopher. Go for this, go for that. And that's pretty much been most of my career.
So how many service companies have you worked for in the past 5 years?
Oh, like way too many. I've probably been through, since I started, I probably go to 10, 20 companies within like a year.
Per year?
Probably. It ranges. It ranges between how shitty they are, how happy I am, how much they abuse me, how much my pay is, and I know I deserve better, but at the time, I got rent to pay and other bills, so I gotta take what I can get, whether it's on Craigslist, some mom and pop shop that's out doing work out of their apartment, or another company. But either way, I don't really have a future.
Did any of those companies request, when they were looking for employees, the TCI associate degree?
No.
So besides the EPA license, did you need anything else in a high school diploma?
Oh, really? I mean, the only thing it really does, it kind of gives you a little bit of a foundation instead of just going out in the field. Like, I've met a lot of my friends that don't have a degree whatsoever, still get a job, and they got started way more than what I got paid. And I also had experience before I even went there, because I worked with a refrigeration company way before I decided to go to get a degree in this thing. So I had like a year experience of actually working in the field before I actually got my degree years later, trying to change my life around. And it just kind of, I mean, it made it better, but it also made it worse at the same time. I was cooking and living paycheck to paycheck, but I didn't have any debt. But now I'm still living paycheck to paycheck, and I have a shit ton of debt, but I'm making more money, but it still kind of equals out to nothing.
Do any of the service tech companies that you work for offer healthcare? I know they have workers' compensation.
Most of them,
healthcare,
no.
Benefits?
Most of them, no. It tends to be the bigger companies, which are slim and hard to find. There's a lot of air conditioning companies out there, but most of them, they don't give a shit about you. They just care about the bottom line, how much they're going to make off you, and what you can give to them, not what they can do for you.
Have you seen any of the invoices that the companies you work for give?
Oh, yeah. We did a PM one time in this high rise. They charged $600, and it was like 2-3 hours of work.
2-3 hours of work. How many people?
2 guys.
2 guys, 2-3 hours. So about 150 per guy.
Something like that.
PM is preventive maintenance. So
Yeah.
you weren't repairing anything.
Nope, we're just going to change the filters, little small units, P-TAC units. They're all together. You didn't really have to walk up and down stairs. Everything is right there. Change the filter, check it out, leave. You don't really. Then usually there's no hookups for the gauges, so you don't have to check that either. You just check the amperage.
So they're charging 150 per guy for those hours. How much of that did you see?
At the time, I was still a newbie, and I was getting $12 an hour.
Okay. I really appreciate you sharing all this stuff. You know, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to help people. I'm going to help Matt. Matt is going to be participating in our classes. We're going to help Matt get his New York City refrigeration license, and with his experience, get onto a better, higher paying career. But I cannot say this enough. We need to keep people away from these for-profit HVAC degree schools. They are not what they claim to be. They're not helping people. They're not helping people get high-paying jobs. They're barely helping people get low-paying jobs, and they're keeping you there for way longer than you need to be, going into debt, spending a lot more money than you need to, and not getting the results.
And they honestly don't care about your safety either. Most of them, they just want you to get the job done. So if you get hurt, see you later.